We hope you all are doing well and are safe. So we are back again with a new video, and this is a 4-part series based on the COVID-19, and this video is the beginning of our COVID-19 series. Till now we have been focusing on the TI software, but now we may deal with some other softwares too, along with the usage of a couple of simulations. So let's have a look at what we are actually going to do in this 4-part series. So in the first part, which is this video, we'll see what's the difference between an epidemic and a pandemic and what they actually are. And then we'll deal with the tools to measure the virus spread. Whereas in the second part, we'll have a look at the Penn model and we'll see how to find the regression of a simple time series. The third part, on the other hand, shows how we measure the growth rate for a certain disease and we look at the basics of statistics. The fourth part, whereas, shows the difference between a logistic and an exponential model, where we compare which one suits better for our COVID-19 data for a particular country or multiple countries, and we extrapolate the data we capture. So watch the video till end and have fun. So guys, as we aim to analyze the COVID-19 data through this series, we need to have some basic knowledge about how to analyze such data. So for that, this video will actually help you a lot because it covers the basic concepts which are actually required for you to know to deal with such data. So wasting no more time, let's begin with this first part of our COVID-19 series. So as you can see, there's a word called epidemic. You must have heard of it. Yes, you're right. Epidemic is the spread of an infectious disease in a particular community or region at a particular time. So it's basically when a virus or a disease spreads in a particular community or region, not actually a whole country or to the whole world, to a specific region, then it's called an epidemic. Now, you must also have heard the word pandemic, because for the COVID-19 initially we used to hear the word epidemic, but nowadays we hear pandemic. It's a pandemic, right? But what actually a pandemic is, and what's the difference between an epidemic and a pandemic? Yeah, epidemic becomes a pandemic when a disease spreads to the entire country or to multiple countries, or even to the entire world, just like the COVID-19 did. So when it does that, it becomes a pandemic instead of just remaining an epidemic. So for example, Ebola was an epidemic because it was just limited to one particular region, while SARS or COVID actually spread out to multiple countries, as you can see in this picture. So this picture actually illustrates how epidemic is limited to one country or a particular region, and the pandemic actually spreads to the entire world or multiple countries or even to one entire continent or a country. So to see how deadly a virus is, we need to have some tools to measure the virus spread. So the first tool is R0 value. Some people might just say that why is it so important? But I'll say that it's actually something behind which the epidemiologists run crazily. R0 is the basic reproductive number of an infection that can be thought of as the expected number of cases directly generated by a single case in the population. The value of this measure gives a very useful insight to the significance of the disease. It tells us how rapidly the disease could spread, depicting how deadly it is. So it's really important to get the exact value of R0 to see how quickly the virus could spread. For example, the R0 for COVID-19 is a median of 5.7 because it differs for different country and even for different age groups. And earlier it was estimated to be somewhere between 2.2 to 2.7, which is quite less than the current R0 value of 5.7. So this shows that initially the growth rate of COVID-19 was quite less and it's rising at this current moment. Whereas the R0 value for Ebola was 2, which shows that each person who was infected from Ebola would spread that virus to 2 other people. While for SARS it was 3.5 and for measles it was 15. 15 is a huge number for any R0 value. So it means that each person infected from measles would spread it to 15 more people, which means that the growth rate of measles would actually be too high. So let's see a simulation to understand more about R0 value and its impact on the spread of a virus. So as you can see there, it's written infection per person, which is currently 1. So this shows the R0 value. Currently it's at 1 and the week is 0. So let's say after 20 weeks. Yeah. So after 20 weeks, if the R0 value is 1, the disease would spread to somewhere around 1 million people. But if the R0 value is 2, the number of people infected from the disease goes up to 4 into 10 to the power 9 people, which is almost like half the population, the world population. However, if the infection per person is 3, it shows how quickly the virus would spread to it almost all the people. So this actually shows how the infection actually spreads more quickly if the R0 value is very high. So if the R0 value is, let's say 10, the disease would spread to the entire world in just 10 weeks. So in 10 weeks, after the 10th week, if the virus is not controlled, it would spread to the entire world. So we just saw how the different values of the R0 actually depicts the extent to which the virus could spread and the speed of the virus spread in a particular country or in any region. So now let's look at the second tool, which is the fatality rate. So the fatality rate is the percentage of infected people who died due to the virus. So for India, it's 2.8. Let's see how to calculate the fatality rate. So here's the formula to calculate the fatality rate, which is total deaths divided by the total number of cases into 100. So this shows us what percentage of people who are infected due to a virus actually die. So let's see what's the fatality rate for India. 5,400 divided by almost 191,000, which gives us the answer as 0.28. And if we multiply that by 100, because we have into 100 here to get the answer as a percentage, we get the answer as 2.82. So that's the fatality rate for India. Now we have the doubling rate. So as the name suggests, it shows the time it would take for the number of infected people to double in number. So let's say for India, the doubling rate currently is 15.4 days, which has increased from actually 4 to 11 to currently at 15.4, which is quite good. Because initially it was taking 4 days for the number of cases to double up, then it took 11 days and now it's taking 15.4 days. So it shows how the speed of the virus spread is actually decreasing and it's taking more time for the virus to double up the number of people it infects. Let's have a look at an example. So let's say this is a country X and there's a country Y. So at day 10, the number of cases in country X is 12,101 and in country Y it's 23,232. Even though the number of confirmed cases are different, let's see what's the doubling rate for them. So after 5 days, at day 15, the number of confirmed cases in country X becomes 24,311, which shows that now the number of cases has doubled in 5 days. And for country Y, the number of cases double after 11 days, which is at the 21st day, the number of cases become 67,011 from 23,232. So the doubling rate for country Y is 5 days because it takes 5 days for the number of cases to double, and for country Y it's 11 days. So it shows that in country Y the disease is spreading much slower than the country X. It means that the country X needs to implement something in it to slow down the spread of virus, and country Y has a slower growth rate for the virus in comparison to country X.